First video on the argument essay. This is last year's. You actually wrote this earlier this year, but I thought it'd be a good place to start. It'd be a good review. First up, if you come down here where they're saying in your essay you must, this last part here, respond to an opposing or alternative perspective using refutation, concession, or rebuttal. This is the part you're not going to have to do. All right, so you are going to have to make the thesis, support your thesis with two accurate and relevant evidence, one piece from this list above, and then a second piece can be from another foundational document or just based on your knowledge. It could be a court case, it could be something else, and then using that reasoning to explain why the evidence supports your thesis. All right, so that's what you're going to have to do in 25 minutes. This last part here is not going to be a part of it. All right, so let's take a look at this one. The United States Constitution establishes a federal system of government. Under federalism, policymaking is shared between national and state governments. Over time, the powers of the national government have increased relative to those of the state governments. Develop an argument about whether the expanded powers of the national government benefits or hinders policymaking. Use at least one piece of evidence from one of the following foundational documents: Articles of Confederation, Brutus 1, Federalist 10. All right, so you guys did pretty well on this because you had a lot of time to do this. You did it at home. A couple things to remember when you're deciding how you're going to write this. Remember to think don't necessarily think like what is my opinion on this? Think about what is going to be the easiest way to go on that. I think on this essay, the easiest way to go is that that if you, if the powers of the national government have increased, that those expanded powers are going to benefit policymaking. Okay, so increased national powers benefits policymaking. I think that's the easiest way to go there. By then going there, you can just you talk about the Articles of Confederation. You can talk about what kind of a mess it was. So in your thesis, right, you need to include the fact that when the federal government is weak, it leads to chaos and contradictory policies. Okay, so that could be included in your thesis as you start to use the Articles of Confederation as evidence. Then in your second part, a lot of you guys went with a court case. You went with McCulloch versus Maryland, and you with your second piece of evidence, and you said, think about if Maryland had won that, then now states are nullifying national law, right? That's going to create that chaos as well. Just remember with your thesis, you can use the word and. First of all, it needs to use the word because. So you make that claim. Right, expanded national government powers benefit policy making because now you're providing that line of reasoning. It's okay if your line of reasoning includes the word and because you're trying to fit all of your arguments under this umbrella that is your thesis. Okay, so make sure you do that. Where some of you guys mess up is your first paragraph is fine, your first piece of evidence is fine, but then your second piece of evidence has nothing to do with your thesis. That's where you need to go back and adjust your thesis to make sure it covers both your arguments. So that word and is fine in there. All right? And that's that part where you're using the reasoning. You're saying, here's why the Articles of Confederation is good evidence for why we need expanded national powers at the national level. Okay, so that's this is where you're teaching the concept. Okay, and as I went through your last FRQ that you guys turned in for quiz 3.2, where you guys are forgetting on these explain questions, what you're forgetting to do is you're forgetting to teach the concept, right? You need to lay it all out there. Don't write like you're writing to somebody that teaches this stuff. Write it like you're trying to teach it to somebody, okay? Okay, tomorrow I'm going to get into another, probably both a concept application and an argumentation essay. I hope you found this helpful, and that's it for today.